现在就是 live 了，but 是 new 调声，然后这里是 transition for 这个这里是那个 screen 啊，然后就在这里 double check。
So it's a lifestyle YouTube.
Yeah.
Alright, research year 2020, 2025 research year.
要 double check 一下。现在 live 的话是 delay 超过14秒。
很多我们要用，真的学不懂的话，我们要请人。
可以，没问题。
We have an idea of where
So, hey everyone, is this, can you guys hear this? Okay, maybe a little bit further, right? Okay. So once again, welcome everyone to the EVKL collaboration with Ethereum Network School. Will all of you guys hear this? Okay, maybe a little bit further, right? Yeah. So this session is actually a live stream. So I'm just testing right there, so it clearly works. So yeah. So first of all, maybe let's give a round of applause to our venue sponsor, CCACC. So CCACC is actually Malaysia's Builder Hub, where they support like founders on things like capital, also things on community and spaces. And yeah, so we have a few like familiar new faces here. So hands up, anyone who is coming from a network school. Oh, that's quite a lot, yeah. So welcome to KL. Yeah, we have a huge agenda today, so let's get started. All right, I should point there. It's not working. Why is this not- Yeah, okay, so yeah, so we have a packed agenda today. So like 6 p.m. or 6:15 is about announcements and money roundup. Money roundup meaning that everything that's happening, most like notable events in Ethereum on Web3. Then we'll move on to 50-minute talks by, we'll start with Veronica and Kos from Ethereum Network School. Raise your hand, you can see there, yeah. Next is, Base Malaysia is going to share on their session as well. And lastly, we're going to have Sam Chua. Sam Chua, where are you? Yeah. He's a long time pop-up city organizer. He's going to share about his experience building communities in Malaysia. And then 7 p.m. to 7:30, we're going to have like lightning talks. I think 5 projects is confirmed so far. And yeah, so raise your hand if you are one of the project leads here. So, okay, yeah. Yeah. 7:30 to 8:30 is makan and lepak. It actually means eat. Lepak means chill and hang out. So yeah, there you go. The first Malay that you will know today. Okay. Still a few announcements. Like this one is more relevant to like the people who have been in the Malaysian meetup space, because we actually used Meetup for like 6 7 years ago until then. But recently, after they upgraded, I think they are charging quite hefty fees. So we're moving all 100% to Duma right now. There you go. Next up, I think I just want to do a quick shout out to the White Paper Readings Club. So for context, the White Paper Reading Club is actually like you gather a group of people who are like interested or like who are passionate about like protocol things like white paper study, zero knowledge study group, and then you combine them all together, and then you like you have a study group, then compile them into documents, and you share it online. Yeah. So far, they are like across 8 cities, including I think in Singapore and also San Francisco. And glad to say that Malaysia is also like one of the 8 countries that are hosting this. And they actually hosted 9 sessions so far. And we just had our last session in last week as well. So if you guys are interested in like joining this web study club, let me know. Oh, and last, anyone here not familiar with DEF CON? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, there are no need to explain that much. So they are hosting academic engagement program where they would give like up to 300 USD in financial support for hosting events. Yeah, and you are eligible if you are a student or you run workshops. Yeah, and that's a link down there where you can access it. Yeah, so now I'm going to move into the roundups. Yeah, first up, I think I would say like April has been quite a dark month so far. I think there's over like 10 plus projects and like in a total of 600 million projects of funds being stole. So jokes aside, if you are one of the victims, condolences to you. But upon like a brief like look through, like almost all of these are mostly like human errors, and also like there's a weakness in the protocol design. Yeah, so good to know. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the capital hack, because this series actually linked to a multiple series of events that's running. So TLDR, the hacker drained around 292 million worth of RS ETH, and the way they do it, there's like three like I would say like three failure points. First, they managed to like somehow access to the RPC of layer 0. This is all my understanding, where they are able to poison one of the RPCs, and they DDoS the main RPC, where it leads to a fallback to the malicious RPC, which then they are able to like call fake data to the DVN of CapDAO. And since CapDAO only has one DVN, meaning like one decentralized verifier node, there's no like second opinion to like verify it. So they just click yes, and that happened. And the third, I would say like point of failure is Aave didn't have a cap on the RS ETH market, so the exploiter is able to like to lend all of this unbacked RS ETH to borrow large amounts of wrap ETH, causing the protocol to have a bad debt. Yeah, I'll move on this later, but the TVL dropped around like 17 billion in 48 hours. And yeah, so this one is another spicy topic on arbitrary freezing stolen funds. Who here is not familiar with L2B? Can I have a raise of hand? Yeah, so L2B is where like they rank protocols. Basically, when you go on L2, you are things that you're concerned of is the will L2 take my money away? Is it safe? For example, so they divided projects into multiple stages. Stage 2 meaning like you're on training wheels. Stage 1 is you have limited governance. Stage 2 is where you are fully decentralized. And like one of the points of being a stage 1 security council is that on stage 1, the security council can act as unilaterally in emergencies. So this is what happened when they decide to freeze all the stolen funds. And this sparks a whole debate on like user protection versus decentralized ideals. So this is something that you should take note. Oh, also, and follow up on the like Aave hack. There's actually this like notion that's happening today, where they do a DeFi United campaign, where they try to like bail out Aave from the bad debt. So if you can see, like these are the contributors. So you might not see very clearly, but Arbitrum, Mental, EtherFi, Layer Zero, like so they basically donate the funds so that they can get help to get out of the bad debt. And so far, I think there's around like 8,000 transfers. So meaning like normal users are also donating their part as well. Yeah. Oh, okay. So anyone here who is ICO investor of Mega E? Okay. Okay. So I think this is quite an interesting one. So they TG it 6 months ago, but decided that's not the ideal market. So like they did like a KPI where you have like need to have 10 apps and also like with like 100K like transactions. So yeah, there you go. There's 10. I think there's 11 and then one left or something like that. Yeah. So like, but yeah, this is an interesting way of like setting KPIs and trying to like go through the market. But I did a brief research, like only 12% of like 2025 token sales stayed profitable. I think 85 of them are below TGE price. So this might, in hindsight, be optional choice. I don't hold any Mega ETH, but yeah. Okay, this is the last part. The reason why I put this here is that we've been listening a lot of things like Ethereum is no longer focusing on this L2 like roadmap, focusing entirely on L1. So like this is actually the first upgrade that they are taking place 2026 to improve Ethereum L1, right? And it's targeted to be around like June. So like the things that they are trying to improve right now are three things. It's the gas fee reduction, parallel scaling, and removes like any middleman. But I think like all these three combined into one is quite ambitious, like, because all of these are like quite built set in stone in how Ethereum operates, how MV has been there since day one, and gas fee reduction. Yeah, so good to know. I think that's all of my sessions. Thank you guys very much. Yeah. Next up, I'm going to pass this to Kos and Veronica on their sharing on what's happening at in Ethereum NS.
Because we can pass the mic back and forth.
Notifications from builders.
Yes, we have. Thank you everyone that's here from ETHNS, ETHCAL, and wider community. We know that there's some people that might be filing in. I'm Veronica from Network School.
Yeah, Gauss from ETHNS, so more on the Ethereum side. Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just back and forth it. ETHNS, it's a permanent Ethereum community node at Network School in Forest City, Malaysia, about 3-4 hours away from here, about an hour away from Singapore. This is a photo of the first day of the month of last month. We're around 500 people now and growing very quickly. But the Ethereum community has lasted before even either of us were there. And there are several people here that afterwards, when you're getting to know the NSers, can talk about how Ethereum has been growing. Before Network School, we were both in the Zuzulu pop-up city Ethereum ecosystem. And so my ancestry also is from the Ethereum side, but I'm also here representing Network School.
Oh, thank you. I was wondering, like, yes, exactly. Like, but this is a very exciting like moment in a sense that we actually have the Ethereum Foundation come by NS back in February. They had the in-person conversations about the situation with like L2s. Oh, that's an L2. No, I'm kidding. But like anyway, so right now it's as you can see here, it's like this is pretty much all friends. There's a lot of the representation of NS build projects in this sense, or just as well like friends that had passed through the network school in the last few months, just even before. All right. I mean, I think we go into deeper into slides. Yeah.
As we click play, if we go to the next one, can we press that? No.
Yeah, this is a fast track. Oh. We go. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, if you just go to
.io. Yeah, this is gonna be the fever dream version of like just kind of like what was in February, which was quite exciting. Just starting to have these conversations with, of course, Ethereum Foundation friends of how it would look like to have a permanent presence on Ethereum.
I actually muted it on this version, but it's on X if you want to hear the very loud, intense, imagine.
It's pretty like cardio, hardcore kind of like electronic music.
You can see this is the co-working space at Network School where some of our larger events at NS are held for the open days that we'll talk about that are happening in May. We may have some of them in the co-working space, some of them in our cafe. Yes. All right, I'll pop back. I think it's looping at this point. Yeah.
Well, the veil is outside of cancer. That was just where they had like fancy. I'm not grabbing the microphone for this one.
So this will be familiar for NSers, but we have a loop of learn, earn, and burn and fun at Network School. This is when Mario Havel from EF presented on protocol a couple months ago. Oh, great.
Oh, that's amazing.
You can just interrupt.
Actually, Mario just did wrap up a protocol studies session, which was quite cool. And that happens online, it's going to happen again. Protocol fellowships are open right now. If you are like a deep into the Ethereum technology, that's actually a great opportunity to get in the pipeline to start working at Ethereum Foundation.
We burn together. There's sports, there's fun. You know, if you join us even for just a day, can work into some of the fun activities that we have, like sports. But this was the NS Cup, which is pickleball, badminton, football, volleyball, that happens every few months at Network School. And Alok was wearing a great EF shirt from Buenos Aires here. So I thought the one that Conrad's also wearing. That was good representation. And then we earn together. We have some exciting online and offline bounties coming up for Ethereum month. There's a few of them, sneak peek here. And so that will be eventually at ns.com/Ethereum. We'll blast that out on the Luma once it's available.
The fun thing is like you can hack online. We would love to have you at NS, of course. That's not an invitation. Actually, we'll go into that in the slides. There's more information.
Yeah, so we'd love for you to get involved even from KL or for people watching online, and you can share it largely with your friends and colleagues that want to also participate in ETH NS or Network School from afar. And then we hacked together. Most recently, we had, thanks to ETH Global, coconuts and some snacks as we ideated for the current ETH Global Open Agents Hackathon. Raise your hand if you are hacking in this hackathon. It's live now. All right, so a couple of us. It started at midnight last night, so we have now a couple of weeks for that.
We might have most likely 90%, I would say, listed by the main sponsor at Network School. That's kind of fun. CRD.
Yeah, being in Forest City is a nice location because people can come over from Singapore as well for a day. And then finally, we want to share a little bit about the upcoming Ethereum month or Genesis block month, as he came up with, because as we said, NS is permanent, ETH NS is permanent and has been around for a while, but it's growing. And this month is an opportunity for having a particular shelling point of events and programming around Ethereum. There will be open days, as mentioned, and now we will talk about a few of those, and you can already start to register for them. So this is a photo of the cafe where, with a large enough crowd, then we take over the Network School Cafe from Network Schoolers that want to work. So we're planning on just doing that on Saturdays, at least in May, to let people work during the week. But they're good opportunities for you to get to know people at NS and come in for a day if you can't join for the month, because of course we would love for you to join for the entire month or longer. So a few of them, I'm not sure if the Base guys have made it yet, so I'll share a little bit about Base. Base has moved into Network School permanently, and They just opened up a base builder's loft. There will be a launch party on the 8th. And right before then, on the 7th, there's going to be a virtual humanoid robot demo day in the cafe. Then we have these 3 open days that we'll talk about planned already. There is some chance that even more will happen in May, but they're definitely happening on a monthly basis as well. But we would love to invite you all to these 3. So first, we have EVM Day, May 16th. Per availability, we are going to coordinate buses from Kuala Lumpur as well as from Singapore for you to join for the day. We understand that it takes a bit longer from KL, so likely we will try to have the strongest programming happen in the afternoon so that you don't have to leave at a very, very early hour to get there. But we'll still have things starting earlier for those that are there earlier. Several of these projects will be there that day. Some of these projects may end up joining earlier or later in the month, but Luma will be the source of truth. That's how you'll know what exactly the days is going to be happening for each of these open days or throughout the month. Then Open Hardware Day with leaders in open hardware, including we'll have a guest from Singapore, the Andrew Bunny Huang, an open hardware hacker.
Yeah, I would say like open hardware is becoming a big thing at the core of the Ethereum Foundation and also being pushed by Meetup. There's a push to have the whole life cycle of decentralization like being open. So it's just having open silicon is a keystone of like the whole system. This is really big, so it's gonna be fun. It's just a start. We're gonna have more events for this power. But yeah.
I'd also put out an ask for anyone here and anyone online. NS is particularly interested in connecting with student groups and faculty from mechanical engineering or any departments that are interested in working on hardware. Even if they're not familiar with open hardware, we'd love for that to be an open conversation on chip building. That's for Open Hardware Day. And then finally, we're very excited that Logos is joining us next month for several weeks. There'll be different workshops, and May 24th will be an open day focused on privacy, where you will learn to build on the Logos tech stack and spend the day building. We'll also coordinate buses if there's enough interest so you can join us for this day. They have something called the Lambda Prize that is active with, I think overall they've set aside $500,000 to go into these different prizes, and this will also then be visible on the ns.com/Ethereum or /logos. You can then explore what the bounties are, which ones are live or not. But this will be a good opportunity to meet with the DevRel, learn the skills, and get direct feedback on what you're building while competing in these prizes.
Yeah, I love to that. Like, Lambda Prize is something actually you can Google right now. You can like start prepping for it. So that's quite interesting. In the case of base, I don't know if base batches XYZ is still open. Maybe Conrad knows. But no, oh man. But anyway, that's always good to keep in mind.
All right. And then we just announced a couple hours ago, and then we're very excited to be partnering with Archive, which is a Web3 database in the Golem ecosystem. They are doing with us a Builders Challenge that starts on May 16th. It will run for 1 week, and the winners, there will be 2 winners that win a free month at Network School. We actually met Archive when we won their hackathon in Buenos Aires back in the fall, and just kind of independently fell in love with their tech because it works very well. You don't need to use AWS or a central server or a central database at all, besides maybe Vercel, to build an app. Back in Buenos Aires, there was a big DApp fair event, or like the World Fair of dApps or something, and Cloudflare went down and all the dApps went down, and we were sitting there like, well, our hackathon project didn't fall. So I think there's something very exciting about decentralized databases and decentralized storage, as Kos can speak to with Swarm. So this is also a Luma. All the information will be here. This will also be open to virtual participants as well. And then Crossbar, do you want to speak to it, or?
This is very, very difficult tech. This is, hands-on. So we're starting with a content challenge, which is just understanding the basics of how this looks like. And I think it's a very good moment because it's like Pensa, the Ethereum Foundation, has supported like organizations that push for open hardware, is about to be officially launched. So this
you heard it first here, stream. I don't know if it's been announced. That was announced at DX Days.
No, it's announced, but it's not
Okay.
live. So it's good to jump on this. Right?
Yeah, and as he said, it's very difficult. And so when we were speaking with Crossbar, the idea was, can we do a hardware hackathon? Probably not yet, until we have maybe a machine shop and, as mentioned, more connections with mechanical engineering faculty and students, and hacker hubs in KL and in Singapore. So exactly. So in the meantime, we can do a content challenge with them, but they are interested in actually having more hardware-focused hacking in the future. And then finally,
Oh, yeah, this one is fun. We can still apply and close this on Monday. So yeah, this is a
Friday.
protocol
Friday.
that it happens in a hybrid way. So if you have a project that's live, you're building a new feature, you can apply. You have something new, you can apply. There's two pathways, so you can literally have a very small thing or solo founder mode and agentic copilot. On the other side, you can also have, I think the camping thing is free, but just as well, you apply, you join, there's going to be a selection of some of the projects, and you're going to be able to go pitch at the Southeast Asia Adoption Week in Bangkok, which is kind of fun. I would say that's like I think it's the 20th of May, and there's a meet demo, which I don't know they haven't defined like where it's going to be just yet, and there's a closing demo. So those two are also in person. Expenses paid, but it's a very good opportunity just to continue building or start building. You are on the fence. So yeah, you can just go to protocalcamp.com and buy.
And that's it from us. If you're interested in joining us on campus in May or at any time, you can apply with ns.com/ethns/apply or talk to any of the NSers here. I'm sure they would also be happy to talk to you about Network School. And then the calendar again is luma.com/ethns. And right now we don't have a special group chat or anything. Of course, there's the ETHKL chat. We're happy to share opportunities there, Base Malaysia's chat. But I think subscribing to the calendar is the best way we can just blast things out. And at Network School, if you join the Network School community, then we also have the chats there.
Pretty much the best source of truth. Like, what's the latest?
Yeah, thank you all so much. Really happy for this collaboration.
I think I don't have time for one or two more questions. Yeah, from the floor.
Great, we covered it all.
Okay.
Feel free to find us, Veronica.
Let's give a round of applause to Veronica and Klaus. So next up, we're going to have Sam. Yeah, they're not here yet. Yeah. So let's give a round of applause to Sam. Shares 3 years in Web3.
Is there a clicker or should I something? Cool. Hi guys. So who here has been with ETHKL for at least 3 years or more? Some relatively new group. Okay. 2 years or more? 1 year or more? Okay, so new. Okay, so I'm going to be the old guy talking about some of the history and context leading up to this. But I want to share this because I think it's really exciting that we're here at this moment where in Malaysia and in the pop-up story, a lot of stuff has actually happened, and things that felt like opportunities really far away are actually just like right here for us. Many people in the ETHKL community over the years have joined as students, people looking for things, and in Malaysia, sometimes used to reading about things online. We're very online, but we always feel like that's somewhere else. And even if you go for a hackathon, you're there for a few days. So it's quite crazy that we get to actually just travel without using your passport, and you get to be working on a month with people from all around the world on frontier tech in hardware and AI and all these things. So, okay, so the story here, obviously there's a lot of context, and I'm going to give a fairly selective summary of this. But 3 years ago, a couple of things happened. In early 2023, the first Zuzulu happened. I don't know if anyone here, maybe some of you were there, some of you were part of it. Veronica was part of it. Pretty interesting experiment, and I remember being here in ETHKL, in KL, being like, "Oh, this kind of cool experiment." Like FOMO. Some of us wish we were there, but we're reading about it and stuff. And at the same time, some of us started a small experiment within EveKL that we called World Tree, which was really a study group thinking about like public goods, regeneration, and the social systems side of Web3. And I'm going to give you a quick retro jump to kind of like what some of those things were from there to give you a sense for what it looked like from where we were back in 23. Right, so back in May, so like almost exactly 3 years ago, this was the kind of like some snippets of the intro session that we did. We were thinking about all working in Web3, but like Web3 is part of the bigger world, right? And technology is about what world can we enable, what sort of possibilities do we want to create? And so we were asking, well, what sort of worlds do we want to live in, and what can be possible with all this technology? So the study group idea was around public goods regeneration, social system design aspects of that. We spoke about many different things. I'm not going to give the whole talk again, right? But one of the things that we were reading about at the time was actually, at this time, it was just a book, right? Early 2023, there was ns.com book. Many of you have read this. It's still there. And we actually, later on that year, had a discussion group around the network state book, right? So the theories of like, can an internet community actually become a country? Why not? All of those things. And then we had this whole school bus concept of learning is more fun when you do it together. It's really good to see the white paper reading group taking off in KL, and so much learning is also happening at places like NS and pop-ups and all that too. So that was kind of a bit of what we were talking about in early 2023. And later in the year, right, NS had, I think, one of their first conferences in Amsterdam. Maybe some of you were there. I was watching a stream or something, October 2023. And then, of course, EveKL had like the Sunway hackathon conference. Maybe some of you were there as well, and maybe won some prizes. And we had quite a few people, right? So this was back in 23, right? We were reading about Zuzalu. We were dreaming of study groups. NS started having a conference, so from book to conference. And EveKL was doing a pretty big hackathon, like lots of students involved at the university. 2 years ago, 2024, really big year for Southeast Asia, and I think in the globalizing of the EVE ecosystem, right? Like DevCon Southeast Asia at the end of the year, Road to DevCon. Before that, lots of big events, like many of you were part of programs and in Malaysia, other places that were all part of this story, right? Like EveKL went bigger, right? I think EveKL 2024 was at KLCC, which is not just a university, it's kind of like almost the swankiest convention center in Malaysia, right? So pretty big. NS went from conference to NS school, right? In about August 2024, announcement. Everyone was wondering, what is near Singapore? Where is near Singapore? What is that, right? And now we know. Experiments like Pagoda, that some of you were part of, came to being as part of the Road to DevCon program. And in the pop-up world, a lot of things happen, and the big chunk of stuff on the right is in October, November 2024, in the lead up to DevCon C, there was possibly like the largest poly pop-up gathering ever, where I think almost all of those groups, like about 12, 15 or so at least, were having different pop-ups happening in Chiang Mai at the same time, right? So some of you may have been part of these things. My own project, something that grew out of Whole Tree, CPunk, which has now grown a little bit, was also incubated during this period. So part of the school bus idea became a bit of a reality thanks to the culture and possibilities of pop-ups. But there were also groups on decentralized science, like Invisible Garden and all these other things that happen in the pop-ups and have grown since then. The Zuzalu went from being one conference to kind of almost a constellation of many different pop-ups that have continued to grow, and many of them have since explored how do we get from pop-up to maybe longer-term permanent, the trajectory that we also see NS being on. So a lot happened in that 1 year. From 23 to 24, we saw these changes, and from Malaysia, it meant that for the first time, DevCon, Ethereum, the world was actually pretty accessible for year in Ethiopia, one of my first times in the country, and probably the best country name for an ETH event because you just capitalized 3 letters and that's your name. And I managed to end the year at Dev Connect in Argentina. I think some of you were there as well. I see someone's got the shirt on, Conrad. So H City, Patagonia. So pop-ups by this point have actually become kind of like part of a culture. Some of them are stable enough to keep doing it and plan a year ahead or more. ETHKL, CPunk this year, last year, we managed to actually do a kind of like a whole study group in conjunction with the Summer Protocols program, supported by the Ethereum Foundation. We did a week of the program study group here in Malaysia. About 20 people were part of this, and we were very happy to host our final symposium in September last year in conjunction with ETHKL. So there's actually a video of that final symposium on the ETHKL YouTube stream if you want to check that out, right? And by this point, it's about far enough into the pop-up experiment that at the end of last year, Vitalik actually writes a post reflecting on what have we learned from pop-up cities so far, right? Like it's by the end of 2025, it's almost 3 years into the experiment, and he talks about, there's a whole post about it, which I highly recommend you guys read. We can discuss that if you want, where he talks about like tribes and zones and the kinds of culture that pop-up cities are really good at incubating. And meanwhile, on the right, like NS going from network school V1 a few months at the end of 2024, right, enters V2 in early 2025, about a year ago. And part of the bigger strategy, so this is all online. You can see that there's a whole dimension of like why pop-up cities are interesting based on the number of people and the duration, right? And NS has, I think, with V2 exploring how can we create containers for startup societies that actually explore different combinations of both the number of people but also the duration, because the real unlock of pop-up cities has been meeting 100 people for 2 days can be very powerful, but then all your follow-ups, all your collaborations are online after that because everyone flies back home. But when you have a pop-up city and you're there for 2 weeks, 2 months, you get to actually do things together and start your experiments, and a lot of things emerge out of there, and you actually, many people found it to be a much richer experience. So we're kind of on this frontier of different ways that people come together, different ways that value gets created, different ideas, different collaborations, different communities. And I think you'll see that I don't know if NS is on like V3 now or V4 or something, but it's working its way down that stack. And I think experiments like ETH NS, this permanent node, actually part of this evolution. And again, it's from a Malaysian perspective in 23, we didn't expect or anticipate this would be happening here. So for those of you who are just joining the ETHKL community now, you're damn lucky. It's a lot more possibility that we have here now than we had before. And this year, right, we're only in April or so, but there's already some interesting things that are happening, right? DevCon is going to be in Asia again. It's going to be in India, as many of you already know, at the end of the year. There's many other pop-ups, right? The Moo is going to be in Shanghai. I'm actually going to be there. We're going to be collaborating with ETH NS, trying to connect some of the global nodes around those things. I'll talk a bit more about that and what CPunk is doing at Moo Shanghai in a bit, right? And NS is growing nodes, right? Like ETH NS is a permanent rolling kind of node. I've been visiting NS on and off since 2024, right, when they started. And every time I go, there's a new development in place, right? They've gone from being all in the hotel to having their own co-working space to having different housing. The team has grown. So it's really an experiment that has advanced. I was reading about Johor earlier today, and I don't know how many of you knew before this that in Johor, it's the second largest, according to Wikipedia, which the citation is from The Economist, I think, so it feels like legit. Johor has the world's second largest artificial intelligence hub, or something around data centers of a particular type that are used for AI, right? That's crazy for a Malaysian. We've always thought about things as out there, but to be next to this, and not just the second largest AI hub, but probably the largest in the world that is both US and China, because the ones I think the largest is in Virginia, and I'm pretty sure that's mostly US and not China. So to have the chance to be between these things and learn and tinker on them today is kind of interesting. And yeah, so a whole bunch of experiments happening in Latin America. Our friends at NetX and Prospera exploring how to think about the stack of infrastructure you need for network societies. Chiang Mai, where it started back in 2024, is now working with their local government, where they've declared the area where a lot of the pop-ups were in back in 2024 to be a nomad-friendly district. So you've got government involved trying to prototype what a zone for digital nomads and builders could be like. So we're in a few years down. A lot of these partners have grown, right? There's a picture there of Malaysia's digital minister who was just at NS like in the past few weeks, right? So I did that was not on a bingo card entering this year, right? So crazy connections are happening, possibilities are there, and it's a crazy time for the world, but it's also a lot of crazy opportunity. And so maybe this is something to be thinking about. So the last thing I'll talk about is just what we're doing at Mu Shanghai this year as part of Sipang Studios, which is an experiment that grew out of World 3 and some of those things. The Mu is one of the pop-up city organizers that some of you will know people from. They've organized things all over the world, from Ghana to Argentina, Thailand, Osaka, and other places. And this year, they have the chance to actually do it in Shanghai. And they plan to bring hundreds of builders from around the world to be a Chinese builder for a month. It's exciting. They're actually partnering with like big Chinese companies, but also some local Chinese governments to enable this. China's obviously a big frontier of tech. If you've been watching the news anytime in the past few years, you've seen maybe the robots dancing and the launch of DeepSeek last year and all these other things, right? But China, for many people outside of China, have in the past few years not been very easy to get into, right? Like visas have been challenging, even from Malaysia. Like we only had, I think, last year when visa-free access became possible again. So many people are curious about it, and it's exciting that this year, where China has made it easier for many countries to come in, that a program like this exists, right? Because whatever you think of the politics, whatever the things that are being invented in China today are going to enable different kinds of lives everywhere in the world, whether it's solar panels or electric vehicles or AIs or robots, all those things. And what we're trying to do with our CPANG program in Shanghai next month is to say, what are the most solar punk versions of the futures that are possible all over the world using this generation of technology? If solar panels become super cheap, what becomes possible in the Pacific Islands? What kinds of new economies become possible in places when robots become like affordable? Questions like that. So we're doing stuff like this, but we're doing it partly in Shanghai, but also in collaboration with other nodes, where I think we expect over the ETH NS and Mu Shanghai program to be able to do some kind of like inter-node kinds of like sync-ups. So whether you are be able to join ETH NS or maybe join some of us in Shanghai or other places, right? We're also trying to explore how can these constellation and network societies actually be something bigger than just people in different places, but also maybe explore connections and ideas in the same way that being part of this Web3 and pop-up journey has actually enabled connections. I made so many new friends in different places around the past few years in these things, and I'm sure many of you will have the same chance to do so as well. So that's all I have to share. I just want to give some context for how crazy it is that we get to be here today at this moment. So thanks for listening. I'm going to hand back to the host.
Thank you, Sam. Any questions from the floor? Just a quick one. If no, let's give a round of applause to Sam Chua. One question? Oh, yeah.
First, thank you for your presentation. If you could go back just a few slides, there was something about regenerative infrastructure for network societies. No, I think it's forward. Another one? Or yeah, on the bottom right. Bottom right. Could you tell a bit more about that?
Sure. So this is a project by our friends at Next State, that's based out of Argentina. And they are doing, I can share the link with you. They're doing a kind of like a law and infrastructure, kind of like what is the legislation you need to create a new kind of like network society? Sprint. So they're going to be Prospera. Basically, it's getting a few weeks to get like legal experts and like people who know like free trade zones and like other kinds of things together to actually prototype the stuff, right? Because like code isn't just for computers, right? Like laws are code also in certain ways, and certain kinds of laws enable different kinds of prosperity, different kinds of like interactions to happen. So they actually have kind of like a legal hackathon of sorts to make that happen and bring in Prospera next month. right? So exciting because we'll try and connect with them to ENS, maybe to Shanghai as well, to learn from those things as they're happening at the same time. So yeah, it's not next week is the thing, but I can send share the link with you separately. If you have any questions on any of these, more probably I have links for all these things as well. That's your question. I'll still be around, so hit me up if you have questions. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So, give me a second. Let me. No. Okay, never mind. I just so let's welcome Noel, who is leading Base Malaysia, to share about like what's happening in network school from this year.
Yep, thank you. Hi everyone. Thank you the Network School team for the invitation. It's Noel here. I'm the managing partner of Activate and also the community leader for Base Malaysia. We also the organizer for Malaysia Blockchain Week. So something very exciting to share. We just kind of like launched our Base Builder Loft at Network School. It's at level 3 of the Network School near the library. So if anyone wants to kind of like use the space, connect with more base builders, can reach out to the team and welcome everyone to join us. Upcoming in the May itself, we are going to have a hackathon with the Wojos team for robotic hackathon. So it's going to be on the 7th of May at the NS Cafe. So welcome everybody to join us for the demo day. And on the 8th itself, we are going to have a Base Builder Loft launching event with some good food, good drinks, and probably DJ. So see you guys there, and thanks for having me.
Okay, thanks, Noel. So right now we're going to have the second part of the presentation, which is we're going to share like 5-minute presentation. So okay, so is Namu here right now? Okay, yeah, let me share this tab and then okay, guys, let's give a round of applause to Namu. We have 5 minutes. Okay.
Can I get the clicker as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right, how do I use this? Sure. All right, hello everybody. My name is Thomas. I've been in crypto since late 2013. Previously, I worked at Coinbase for a couple of years, and I joined the network school back in March. Amazing decision, great environment, high concentration of very interesting people. But most importantly, allowed me to focus and start working on my project that I was thinking of and was very passionate about for quite some time. So the project is called Namu, and it is built for Gen Z. Why Gen Z? Because it is the generation that cares the most about the environment, but also at the same time, they're a generation that struggle with finances. Over 34% of Gen Z have zero savings. Over close to 50% feel saving is pointless. And I'm not surprised. If you look at the average rate on a US bank account, it's about 0.5%. And maybe if you use a app like SoFi or whatever, that's gonna give you 4%. So I want to help solve this by making the yields that are available in the DeFi ecosystem accessible in an easy way, abstract away the complexities, but still keep what is important in crypto, which is transparency and self-custody. And then also at the same time support Gen Z in their interest in contributing to good causes. So it's fairly simple. The stack is easy. It uses Privy, self-custody wallets. It connects to wallets that many of you already know, like Morpho, Maker, and so on. And then there's a couple of things that it does in a novel way. So the first thing that it does, it allows the user to split the yield that is being generated for them. So let's say if you manage to generate 8% of yield, you as the user can choose, okay, 20% will go to a good cause, to a charity, and 80% I'll keep for myself. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit more financially secure, so I'll change it the next day and do 50-50, right? So this allows for frictionless giving. The amount you give scales with the amount of money that you put in. And essentially, this is kind of the prototype that I'm working on. So the third main thing that it does, it gamifies the whole experience. I want to speak the language of Gen Z, and I think a lot of you here kind of grew up with gamification. So on one side, you have the wealth aspect, which motivates you to save money. It has different achievements, different goals that you can set for yourself. And on the other hand, you have the motivating and gamified factor when you donate to a charity. So in this example, I want to start first with conservatory, jungle conservatory aspects, and there's a jungle that will grow with you over time as you contribute more money. And just as a fun fact, one of the partners for the donations is Rainforest Trust. They support Borneo and Malaysia Sabah. They're one of the ones that have higher scores when it comes to donation checkers and so on. So that's a peek on the impact side. Here's again a little bit peek on the wealth side, and that's it. I actually forgot to put in the last slide, I think. So if you're curious about the app, you want to try, there's a landing page right now. You can go to namu.finance. It's spelled with 2 M's. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. I'll give you my contact whatsoever. My apologies for skipping the last slide. So thank you very much.
Maybe one question. Let's give a round of applause for this presentation.
Thank you.
All right. So is content done? Okay. What's your name?
Anton.
Anton.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, let's welcome Anton for his presentation.
Hi, I'm Anton, founder of Content DAO. We believe that content creators become a catalyst for free adoption. So we are 2 co-founders, I'm and Anna, we both here. We built in Web3 since 2018 and built more than 20 blockchain products on the market. And last 3 years, we're working on the science work about reputation economy and the content creator space. So now we are working on the product. So what's the story? A lot was invested in the Web3 space. More than 10 years of development, $1 trillion of investments, and a lot of work, especially with the AI space. It's working much more faster. But unfortunately, only 3% of people understand the real benefits of Web3. Others just heard about them, often with bad reputation, or didn't know it at all. It's quite difficult for newcomers to cut through the noise to become a consistent Web3 user. The reason is broken connection between projects and content creators. So we are building the product which unite content creators worldwide to make Web3 understandable and make it at scale, all socials worldwide. And all projects around Web3 space can launch their content pool across the AI reputation model and our algorithm, which distribute suitable personalized tasks for each content creator depends on their reputation metric, which collected from their socials. And they can prepare high quality content to earn the prepared tasks. We believe that creator value is predictable, and all our algorithm estimates on the reputation metric allocate personalized tasks and offers, and our algorithm learn with each iteration and predict much more better. Content DAO transform how content creators present Web3, becoming a bridge to mass Web3 adoption, and boost the Web3 industry as a whole, because the content creator market is 20 times bigger than Web3 and grow very fast every year. We are open a new era of Web3 engagement, which started with a quest for user onboarding. Next, it was Yaps for community engagement, and now it's time for content. high quality, produced by any levels of creators globally, estimated and verifiable. We are growing global community of content creators. We launched our product 1 month ago and grow more than 500 content creators onboarded from different countries. We got a great support from the community, which support the principles of the DAO and that how we incentive produce only high quality content, but not the quantity of the content. And had a good cases with the projects which achieve a lot of content with a very short period of time. In 3 days, more than 20 pieces of content were published and prepared by unique content creators worldwide. Yeah, for projects, it's very easy in 5 minutes. Prepare the content pool and tasks which will be personalized and distributed by algorithm automatically. So happy to help. And we just launched our new fully automated way where you can go by yourself, try it, and launch automatically with the algorithm without any personal work with anyone. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, happy to stay in touch.
So, any questions? Hello, Tom. I want to ask, like, how does the system understand, like, the content creator is AI-based, is it AI slot? Like, how do you determine which is good content? Or is it also on the project founders who look into it and they just choose themselves? And what if it's the project founder that chooses? What happens when there's like 1,000 different contents? Like, would it be very manual? Would it be AI system? Or like, how will you like help those founders choose the best content for their projects? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for questions. Yes. So we first time we analyzed all the reputation data from socials, and also with connecting their wallet, we collect more on-chain data, and based on this data, we predict different offers and suitable task for the term of this social profile. And with completing the first task, we collect the new data about engagement and what result it give for the any project which you collaborate. And based on this data, we improve this algorithm and making it a lot of time, and it becoming better and better with each interaction.
Hi. I want to ask also if this is purely a social platform because you compare yourself to Galaxy and also to Protocol. So, is there any aspect of sort of a social good to this where we talk about content that promotes permissionless protocols, for instance, that kind of incentive, or is this purely social platform business?
So yes, it's not new social. So we aggregate all existing social. It's like X, YouTube, Instagram, and others. And we making the monetization. Yes, we compare with a social file and info file, but it's another way. We not incentive quantity of the content. So we not incentive if you produce a lot of similar content like spam and so on. You not get any incentives from the protocol. You have only one incentive, and you need to produce high quality content to achieve the better metrics. And based on this metric, you will get better proposals on the next time.
Yes, well, what the content is about. Do you have sort of boundaries for permissionless protocols as well, or just generally talking about things like Ethereum as a whole, or at least projects have to approach for this and set their own boundaries?
It depends on the project. So yes, it's usually project launching the new updates of the product, or they launching the product, or wanna to make the difficult technology. So for example, in privacy space, it's very difficult how it works, and they launching the publication. It could be science publication, and ask for more content creators to make it understandable for their audience, and they prepare the content in more easiest way and more understandable for much more larger audience than just builders in Web3 space.
Thank you. Any more questions? Just curious about the numbers
for 97% of is scam and then 3% is the real value. There's not to know is the targeted source for your survey or and if I mean simple question. Yeah, is there a targeted survey for that statistics?
So you're asking about the score?
Just the survey where people find like most of these and
How they finding out about the
is there a targeted survey for that?
okay. Yeah, so for now we are growing the initial community of content creators, and we still in beta, and it's open access only for invite. So we believe the content creators which you already know can invite another content creators and grow for invite basis. It's also influence on their reputation. So who invite who on the platform. So we're happy to invite everyone if someone building content here.
Yeah, my question was
Yeah, could you please?
how the number was like in your presentation. Maybe you can go back to the presentation. Like 97%.
97. Okay. Okay. It's the first slide about 90. Okay. Yes, it's in total number of people. So it's open statistics, like how many people just created the wallet and trying to make any transactions in the free space. If you're asking about how many people understand the Web3, if I understand correctly.
So they are from blockchain data. The numbers are from blockchain data.
You're asking about the first slide? Okay, maybe we can discuss with you after this presentation. Yes, sorry.
Let's do a round of applause with content.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sorry about that. I don't know your names, so I'm just calling out projects. Yeah. So I think this one is more on yeah, this is you, right? So what's your name?
Gautam.
Gautam. All right. Let's give a round of applause to Gautam.
Hi everyone, I'm Gautam. I'm the founder of F.XYZ. So in F.XYZ, what we're trying to figure out is how to use AI to make money on chain. And so I think something is broken on the Windows 6. So what for my background, I built Polynomial. So Polynomial is a decentralized perp on Ethereum. We have done over $9 billion in volume, and we had 100,000 plus users, and we built an L2 on Ethereum, and we let people trade crypto, stocks, commodities, all these things on chain. And we've been looking at it for a very long time, like how the industry has been changing. And okay, so like everybody is using AI nowadays to make money. The biggest problem is like AI can't predict the future. Like there was this experiment a guy did. He was just giving data to AI, like about movies, just predict the box office prediction. Even the straight of the art models to even the dumb models have 30% accuracy. So a lot of people, what I see is like they are like just giving AI like make money for me. It doesn't know how to make money because we didn't make them to make money. We made them to complete text. And what they're really good at is completing text, very specifically code. So if you can generate code, there is a very, very good chance that we can make money with it, right? And so if you look at crypto in general, right? A bit far. Okay, so if you look at crypto in general, right, there is primarily one thing that we can see, right? The people who make the most money are the power users, like the ones who go first into a protocol. They saw like, oh, something weird is happening over there. Somebody tweeted about it. Those who are able to move can make a lot of money, and they can make millions, and they can do it like even with small amount of capital. And that happens every time, right? Like recently there was an Aave hack. There are a lot of people who made a lot of money, but the thing over there is a specific edge that was there, and that was only available to a select few of people. Now anyone can do it. And so how do you do it? Like we have obviously like a chat interface like every other AI thing, but what we are proposing is like instead of like going into a chat interface, you have something where it's just a traditional trading interface, and on the one side you can see that you this is me market making on Hyperliquid, and I am just I told my agent to write a code, and then I am running the code, and it works just like a normal interface on Hyperliquid. Like on the top, I can just change it to a market order, this order, that order, and it will just automatically change with it. And it sounds like something not a lot of people would do, but this is something you would have seen, right? Like you seen this thing like people say like there are these markets which are ending in like 5 minutes, and like it's 90% accuracy, and like it would be something like, or like something weird market like, is Jesus going to come back this month, this year, sort of markets. So a lot of people are making money with those things, right? But it's more like if you write a small script and you can make money with it, but it's more like you need to do it. Then like you would have seen like people use tools for it, but who wants to put money into a new thing? And the problem is like it's unnecessary risk for you. It's better that you make that thing. And secondly, what we allow you to do is, let's say somebody makes something like this, you can just copy it, and then the same thing will come for you, and it will be written again from scratch, right? And you can just you can obviously use their code, but it's better like you just copy each other's idea and then just make this thing. And this is coming from a new way like code is going to be. Like one of the biggest things problems in crypto is like we treated code as low for a very long time, and there is this bunch of people who think like if code is low then hacking is legal because you let me do it. But instead what you want to do is you want to just define the specification. You want to just say like, this is what I want to do, and these are the things that are not supposed to be done, and the AI agents will like sort of like manipulate the code over time. So that's one other benefit. Like you tell it what to do, and then it generates a code, and then you can turn on like auto improve, and then it like slowly improve the thing. And then if it's seeing like something malicious, you can like just get rid of it. And it also figures out everything that is related to you, right? It will pull out data, come up with like strategies, or like let's say you're doing, this is me market making, so it was like figured out like these are the things I should track, some Oracle PNL. It doesn't matter, right? Like for you, for your thing, it will be something entirely different. You're trading on Polymarket, it will be like, I don't know, you're betting on weather, you want to see the chart of the weather. AI can do all these things. And so what it will do is like for a normal user, it would be like you'll see this browse page where you just go, you browse some strategy you want to click, and then you just run it by yourself. If you want to change it, you can change it. Or most likely it will be like someone shilling something on Twitter, and you just click it, and then you just do the same thing as everyone else. So this kind of reduces the alpha, right? And then like, just like not a small amount of people money, but like everybody can like do things. So what do we do like other than like what if you think like just using Cloud Code yourself do, like we manage the wallets, the exchange connections, we like put it in a TE so that like it's like not manipulatable. There is also revenue sharing, like if you make a strategy, somebody forks it, you get like some money from that. You have Telegram. I mean, there is a lot of stuff which is more like something we have done for a long time. So it's like sort of thing. And one of the main things that we do is like every time you tell it to generate code, it will make sure that everything that is written is automatically audited, making sure like checks are there. Like for example, like we used to do this thing called funding rate arbitrage, which is price difference between exchanges. And if you don't know that when like market crashing, like how to handle that thing, whatever money you made, you'll just lose in like one random event. But these are like things you'll get by experiences. So it's more like we built it like very custom for like trading use case and with all the knowledge that we had. And so yeah. And one other thing you can do is like if it works, like you can make it into a vault. You can one click deploy a ERC4C2 a vault on Ethereum, or like a vault on Hyperliquid, and then others can use it. You can make money. And like yeah, so it's works just like a normal exchange, and you have positions, orders, all that kind of stuff. It's a video. Yeah, that's essential.
You guys have any questions? So in a nutshell, you're training agents to trade on chain, but you're just giving them instructions and parameters.
Yeah, like you can think of it as like people come and you know like you, let's say you're trading on hyperliquid, right? You will first come and there will be like a hyperliquid trading UI. It will just look like you're normally trading on hyperliquid, and then one day you feel like you have a spark or some idea, and then you just tell it to the agent. Now it will create a new script for you to do something else, and then like over time it will like have different specific things that you want. Like one example is like one of my friends was wanted to do like Ethereum, so he wanted to do like he wanted to farm that exchange, but he wanted to take hyperliquid on the other side, but he wants to still trade on hyperliquid, right? So he will just you just press a button and it will like open a position in both exchanges at the same time, and like whenever it's making a little bit of money, it will auto close. But we make sure like it is written in a way that it is a little bit profitable, yeah, but it's not guaranteed, obviously.
And you can also you can rent your creations out, you said.
Yeah, that's primarily for like how our flow works, right? Like somebody tells something is happening and then they can just give it, right? And you can even use that tweet and that will generate the code, and it will like you can just do it, right? Like you can like the barrier for making money is now very low, but people don't really see it, right? Like you can just be like, oh, this event is happening, how do I make money? You just paste it over here. It will like find out like, okay, what strategy to use, and it will tell you like this is a better way to place the order with this condition, and it will like try to minimize the loss and maximize the profit.
Is it live?
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Any more last questions? So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed that this is a training interface. So actually the code that is written by the AI is able to interact mostly with the order book, or is anything on the table? Are we able to go into MEV, flash loads, or is this really
So like my experience comes from perps, because that's when I've been building for the past 4 years. So our plan is to first do all the perps, and which I think will be done like it's done in a way like you can add it in any day, like in like few hours you can add a new exchange. So it's going to be like first we'll add perps, then we'll add lending, because that's where like the leverage looping is happening, and then we will go to spot and we'll slowly do everything. And it's relatively easy. It's like cloud code, right? It's more like a meta way to make anything.
because you're trying to block code flash load blocks?
I mean, the problem over there is like there is a lot of nuances, right? Like if you don't know how to use RPCs, all that kind of stuff properly, you'll just lose a lot of money trying, right? And even like if you're doing perps, for some strategies, if you don't co-locate the server, it doesn't work. Like market making, if you're market making on your machine using cloud code, you will just lose thousands of dollars unless you are like, so it needs to have that knowledge. That's kind of like the gap that we are trying to kind of do. What you're doing, like what we're doing is something most people are trying, like trying on cloud code, I want to make money, but then like after a week you are like it doesn't work, and then like everybody's just spending credits. It's kind of that. So that's the gap that we are trying to solve.
Thank you.
When the instance of AI developed by AI, right?
I mean, it's an agent. I mean, the agent writes code, and then there are like it's more like, let's say you told your agent to run funding rate arbitrage strategy, it will like keep on running, and then there will be an agent where it will like check every time, like few hours, like what you're doing is correct. If something is wrong, it will like send you a message on Telegram, say like, oh, something is wrong, or you can say like, just do whatever you want, and it will like do it.
Who makes decision about buy, sell, the decision?
You decide.
Okay, but I get the advice, right?
I mean, no, it's more like if you're buying and selling, it's just like a normal trading event. You just have a buy and sell, but like long and short button, you just press it, and it will happen.
So the whole solution of it is like program structure, right? Can it be used for play casino?
playing casino.
Casino.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Can it work also?
yeah.
Say,
It's
say,
same.
my last method is
I mean,
trading market.
it's technology, right? It doesn't have an opinion.
So,
It's us humans who decide what to use it for.
maybe it's more useful for gambling stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
You make money.
yeah. I mean, trading is a little bit like gambling. Most people lose money, but the ones who do, they make a lot of money.
Yeah. But someone must lose.
I mean, unless you get an airdrop.
Whose AI is better? That will make money.
No. The AI is not trading. You are trading. You are the one telling like pressing the buttons, opening long and short. If you let AI trade, it will just lose money. Like AI doesn't know, right? Like it's more like to make money on trading. Either you need to be like arbitraging price differences or arbitraging, or you need to have like some knowledge about something. Like so that knowledge AI won't have, because if it's already there on the internet, like it doesn't matter, right? Yeah.
So basically, this is for people who are manually trading, want to have a better edge on the market. So this thing that you build helps people get a better edge on manually trading.
Yeah, like yeah. In a way, like
They're not trading with AI or a bot for this.
see, there is a mode called auto improve where you can just like, so you kind of define the way you want to make money, right? And then afterwards you can be like, you can tell an AI agent to look at this data every few hours, and then just like, just check if like something is wrong, just make the adjustments. So it can like, you can do that, but it's
Can
no.
it ever place a trade on your behalf?
Yeah. I mean, that's what.
So it is also a bot.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly this is a bot, right? Like the market making one, right? So you look at trading, right? 95% of the volume is bots. Like not AI bots, like it's bots, right? Like market making strategies, that this all that thing, right? So bots are obviously like, so it's more like how do you make a better bot? How do you make a bot that adapts to the market? How do you make a bot which is like faster than others and gets information from the internet, like when something is happening, and then you also tell stuff, right? That's kind of the direction.
So is this limited to crypto only?
No, like we're starting with crypto and then we'll do others. But the thing is, like, crypto is very good for programmability. Like anybody can code anything, right? So we'll first do Dexes, then we'll do Sexes, and then we are looking into like stocks and stuff like that. But it's more like the stocks thing is relatively popular now because there is an arbitrage between stocks in crypto and the traditional stock market now because of hyperliquid's HIP3. So there is like a small edge there. So the main idea is like we'll do whatever the trend is doing and then just make everything in that direction.
Yeah, could this someone had an MQL bot that would identify, for example? Oh, yeah. So someone had like an MQL language bot. Could this one send signals to an MQL?
Yeah. It's an agent, you can do in language. Language is not important.
Let's give a round of applause. Okay. So we are right on schedule. So the next is going to be Ogme. Ogme? All right, sure. So do you want to like have a seat here and then let's give a round of applause to Conrad. Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm going to present to you Ogme.world, and this is what I've been building over like the last 3 months. I'm a developer since like 2016, and so I've been like a digital nomad the last like 4 years and done a lot of hackathons, and that's my story to my background. And since like late last year, I got really into Claude Code and like the agentic like coding agents, and this idea that agents are replacing a lot of apps, And so like the new breakthroughs in agents have been that we have the agentic loop, and context engineering is better with skills, and skills are replacing a lot of apps. So early this year, I decided to build this, which allows you to launch your own OpenClaw agent on a server. And it allows you to reuse existing templates, templates for that define the agent's like identity and its purpose, and also has a library of skills so that the agent can be rebuilt with skills that do things. For example, there's a lot of like crypto skills on here. So the use cases are, for example, you can have developer agents that launch like Cloud Code instances and can connect directly to your GitHub and autonomously like write code and deploy code. So it's been a major use case. Other use cases are creating content, like auto-publishing directly to your social media accounts, and creating content. So skills are replacing things like N8N workflows by being more like customizable, easier to customize, and not as fragile. So all those things that are done with N8N workflows now can be done with reusable skills. So maybe you heard about like the Larry agent that's able to create all this awesome content and go viral. So reusing existing skills or writing your own skills by simply prompting the AI, by describing a workflow, connecting different APIs that allows you to do things like edit videos and create short videos, connect APIs like generate videos, go generate a storyboard, generate soundtrack, voice narration, and go from image to video, and do that at like very low cost because you can like choose the right models that you want to use. And that right there is like one workflow that just replaces a lot of manual work that you would do in AI SaaS company like whatever AI video generation AI SaaS company you think of. So another use case is, of course, like crypto trading. Agents are really good at just figuring things out, how to, for example, like bridge tokens or interact with new protocols, and of course use a set of skills that automatically tells it how to do things. All the major exchanges launched their own like agentic wallets in like Q1 of 2026. So all the agents can interact with the centralized exchanges and DEXs. And it's really good at doing things like scheduling tasks. So it can run like daily like your trading systems, and really good at what else? Research. So doing things like deep research and writing its own markdown files and using its own folders and files as its own memory that's growing, and concepts like personal AI infrastructure, which allows you to create folders and files that organize all your knowledge and your trading strategies and your research. And things like prediction market tradings, where it's like the edge is like arbitrage of information in asymmetrical information. So that's where the agility of an agent really gives you an edge, and that gives you a lot of freedom to like connect new sources of information to have that informational asymmetry that you can put to use in prediction markets. So right now you have the agents, which allows you to plug in your API keys to like your codex subscription or any open router model, and skills, templates, and also the blog has a lot of guides on how to connect different APIs to the agent. And you can find my social media if you want to connect on the footer of this page. And so it's augme.world. And yeah, that's my presentation. My name's Conrad. I've been at Network School since January, and also if you have any questions about Network School, or yeah, you can talk to me, and I can give you 1 week free if you want to register. And I have great experience at Network School, so thank you. Any questions?
Let's give it a round of applause. So, two more.
Okay. How are we doing with time?
Still fine. It's just 5 minutes past. I think it is good. Yeah.
Cool. Hit the clicker.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, where's do I hit this?
Yeah.
All right. Like further away. All right. Dap it. Let's go from concept to mainnet in minutes. I will explain more what that is. It's me 10 years younger and much less wiser. I've been in crypto for 8 years. It has aged me quite a bit. About 300,000 followers across multiple platforms. I've done tons of AMAs, had big names on, even outside of crypto like Tyson Fury. But this is going to be our distribution layer. It's one of our distribution layers for Dapit. So in 2017, it took quite a bit of time and effort and money and bandwidth to launch a token. In 2024, 2025, Pump Fund completely shifted that paradigm. So now you can literally open up Pump Fund or Moonshot or any of these launch pads and launch token in 1 second. The DApp layer, though, has not gone through that evolution yet. I think one of the reasons we saw so many memes is because no one could really ship a product as fast as they could ship a token. We think that gap's going to close, and we think that gap's going to close quite rapidly over the next few years. I think the next iteration of what we saw in 2024 is going to be tokens and dApps, and we want to be one of the go-to platforms. So you have Lovable, Bolt, and many others that can ship a great front end, but contracts at the moment are not something that you can do with the average vibe coder or even Claude by itself. We bring all those together. So there's a number of models. There are a number of models that you can use when deploying with Dapit. And it's as easy as one prompt. So in this case, I'm asking it to build me a payroll application for the EVM, one prompt. It takes a bit of time, minutes may vary depending on the workload. And so this took about 7 minutes. The difference between this and a lot of other products is we have several patents pending for kind of the front end stuff we offer. For example, once V1 is out, you can actually click and swap images. You can click and edit text right on the front end user face, and it updates the code. There's a whole there's a whole breadth of different front end UI integrations that we have. You can chat with an AI called Ade, and you can tell it what you want in real time. So I think a lot of times people ask, well, what's the difference between you guys and Lovable and Replit?
there is a big difference between the tools and the function. Yes, nephew, exactly. There's a big difference between the tools and the functions of our platform versus those guys. And yeah, you can pretty much deploy anything. Now, if you're trying to build some sophisticated dApp and launch it, I would say that it's a bit too early, and it's not an us problem. That's just an AI problem. I think as these models continue to evolve, the protocols like ours that harness these models are going to get better and better. We are chain agnostic, right? Very focused on the EVM. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, I conducted over 2,000 interviews in the last several years. I have close relationships with a lot of these ecosystems. So we are in active discussions. We are actively integrating and working with their teams, whether it be grants, whether it be tools that help us build easier, so on and so forth. We are rapidly growing as well. We started in August of last year, and we're up to about, I think, 350 dApps deployed. We are competing in pitching competitions. We came first in the BitAngels pitch competition over at Consensus Hong Kong. We have some stuff in the mix, right? Pump Fund was for, that's a typo, ignore that. Pump Fund was for token launchers. We're trying to bring something different to the industry. This is still in works, but it's coming, and it's probably going to be out by the end of the year at latest, yeah. And that is dAppit. I would love for people to try it, attempt to break it, attempt to build something with it. If you're not trying to launch a crypto app, it doesn't matter. You can still use dAppit to build a website. And I, again, think that we have some front-end integrations and tools that you're not going to find on Replit or on Lovable. And doing it on Claude isn't as easy as people might think.
One question. So one of the most difficult
further away, I can't hear you. Just further away from your mouth, right here. Yeah.
So one of the most challenging parts of making deploying mainnet is making a smart contracts, obviously. So there are two barriers that I think of when we making the smart contract very secure, and then it depends making it immutable. So is there do you think of any defaults in your project? If you want to make it fast, you have to make it very flexible, making up variables, smart contracts, or anything like that.
Can you repeat the last part, please?
Do you have a default settings for how to make the deployment of this smart contract? You really make it very flexible, just make it very fast and more on that.
Yeah, I think it depends on the dApp, and I think that my devs have worked quite a bit of time on making the deployment of smart contracts even possible within the flow. I think in terms of security, and it's V2, but we are still working out third-party partnerships with a few auditing firms. And in terms of the speed of launching a smart contract, I think that really depends on the sophistication of the dApp that you're trying to launch, if that answers your question.
Let's give a round of applause.
So we are now on our last presentation. Okay, so it's NS Qantas, right? Yeah. I see. Do you have any idea how to? Yeah. On this one? Oh, yeah.
Hey guys. Ooh, that's weird. My name is Britt. I am at NS. I came in January, intended to be there for about a month. It's now 4 months later and I am still at NS, so I can be a big advocate there. It's a wonderful place to be. I have been in crypto full-time since 2020, 2021, specifically focusing on cybersecurity. And when I came to NS, I had just wrapped up a project that we've been working on for 3.5 years. And I was really interested about different opportunities I might find there. And so I want to present to you a little bit of a different experience where I actually got to NS and found a team to work with, which was really cool. So Qantas actually moved their head office from Bali to NS. Oh, cool, thank you. They moved their office from Bali to NS, which is really unique because we can activate at NS in a way that you really can't remotely. You know, typically as somebody that's in like growth or business development, we are activating at conferences, you're using Twitter, social media, and things like that. But the real benefit to being on site at a place that's like NS is there's a constant aggregate of people there. And it's really, really fun to be able to test with your market, test with your users, activate and engage right on site. So I'll tell you a little bit about Qantas and what we're doing. And who here is like kind of familiar with all the discourse on quantum threat right now? All right, cool. So largely, we're building a post-quantum secure blockchain. As an Ethereum meetup, this is, thanks for letting me be here, Kos. You know, Ethereum is uniquely well positioned in this in that, you know, there is centralized leadership in Ethereum, and we have the benefits of account abstraction and the ability to add on to what we're doing with things like multi-sig. But most of us are in blockchain because of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin doesn't really have that benefit right now. It's truly decentralized, and we're really focused on immutability in Bitcoin. But the quantum threat continues, and the reality is we only need 2,400 logical qubits to crack the elliptic curve, Shor's algorithm, and we're going to get there really soon, like 5 to 6 years, pretty much. So actually, I'll go to this one real quick. In about 2 to 6 years, we'll be able to crack private keys. And because of the nature of Bitcoin and how it is led and where the core devs operate, it's questionable about whether we'll be able to create change that's actually going to protect Bitcoin users. So I'll go back here. There's been a 92 times surge in quantum computing investment since 2014. There's been over $10 billion in investment in solutions and things like that since last year. It's getting closer to 20 billion throughout this year. This is a very real threat that we have. We've got big labs like Project 11 that are putting out 1 Bitcoin rewards for doing things like cracking elliptic curves for 15-bit. And as a reminder, we only need to get to 256-bit to crack Bitcoin. So what are we doing? We are building quantum secure money. So this is a layer 1 blockchain, which is why I'm very grateful Kos is letting me talk about it. It's distinctly not Ethereum, but we all got here for a very similar reason. And I think it's really important for us to understand what our options are for our assets that are held outside of Ethereum space. So what we did is we built a new chain. We've got an awesome, super friendly wallet. It's very easy to interact with, and we are at NS building actual users, building actual engagement for our chain. We have really cool investors like Naval, other cool people at NS that I'm not at liberty to say out loud. And we have the benefit of actually working with our users on site. So we launched our last testnet just a couple weeks ago. We are at NS activating regularly. And we're also doing something called Q Day on June 6th. So we will have an open day, kind of like Veronica was talking about. It's a time that you can come to NS, hear a lot of professionals talk about quantum threat, post-quantum solutions. We'll also have a little bit of techno-optimist things there, so it's not all like a doomsday conversation, but it'll be super interesting. We're planning to have buses out from KL in Singapore as well, so we'd love to have some of the ETH KL group join us there. And you are welcome to follow us on X, download our wallet. If you guys want to go ahead and download the wallet, I have Quanta stickers for you guys. We're doing really cool activations at NS. We're really immersing like what we're doing with the culture of our community. helping people get ramped up with blockchain, helping people get set up mining. You can mine on our testnet. And yeah, feel free to ask me questions. Feel free to come to NS. We'd love to have you. And thanks for listening to me out.
Any questions?
Why are you asking me questions?
When mainnet? When mainnet?
Very, very soon. It'll line up closely with Q Day. That's all I have liberty to
What's
say.
Q-Day?
Q Day is on June 6th at NS, and it's a full day of programming on quantum, post-quantum blockchain, and things like that. Any other questions? All right, enjoy your night, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. So yeah, thanks everyone for for attending this session. I think right now there are maybe like three things. One is pizza is here. It's right at the back, so you guys can network and have pizzas later. Second, we're going to take a group photo. Where's the photograph? Before pizza, yeah. Before pizza, yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, so before that, I think you're probably going to stand there or something, but yeah, let the photographer decide. Just a quick shout out to CCA CC for sponsoring this event. If you want to follow them on socials, you can type CCA CC on Twitter, or there's actually there's a signboard on the front. You will see the gentleman at the back there. Yeah, so quick shout out to CCA CC. So right now for the photo session, should we stand here? Yeah. So everyone just